I'll see your red light. How we're coming down in 3, 2, 1. Well, isn't this really just something else? I've been waiting a long time to do this, but first we got a little business to get to. Brought to you by My First Home, a division of RE/MAX, which really is a company to get out there to get first-time home buyers just really what they need. It's a stressful thing to do, and the first-time home buyers could really benefit with My First Home. A buddy of mine, Matt Bush, he's a realtor through My First Home, and quite frankly, if it weren't for Matt Bush, I wouldn't be able to say what I'm about to say, and it's live from my basement here in Warren, Michigan. It's time for the Homegrown Happy Hour. My friends, today, for the first time in 2 years, the longest hiatus is over, I have Urgent. And Urgent is a foreigner tribute band. We have Gary. We have Vongo. We have... You're going to kill me. And I'm doing this on purpose before because when we rolled live, he's like, I'm going to beat you before this whole thing's... Lou. And Pam. And Bruce.
That's me.
And Mark.
Got it.
I won't screw it up ever again. I promise.
No.
If
I had sold you your house, you'd remember me.
I have another beer. I'm probably going to screw you all up at some point here.
He does sell houses, by the way.
Do you sell houses?
I'm a
Wait,
RE/MAX
do you know our sponsor?
I know who he is, yeah.
Is this a conflict of interest?
No. But next time.
Not that we
Could be.
So anyways, I'm just going to ask the question because I'm a big fan of Foreigner. And there's tribute bands to a lot of different bands. And yes, I'm double fisting Bud Light as I speak. Why Foreigner? What is it about Foreigner to you guys that was, we need to make a cover band about them?
Well, the first thing is I wanted to do a tribute band, tribute somebody that I love. And it was between a couple bands, and I mulled over it for a couple of years, and I finally decided that it was Foreigner, and I love their music. It's timeless. And so I put an ad out. And,
Yeah, he put an ad out, and probably a week before he put an ad out, Mark, our bass player, who we played together since late 80s, said, hey, what do you think about a Foreigner tribute? Because we just come out of a tribute, a Tom Petty tribute. And we're like, yeah, and we're thinking, I'm like, Foreigner? Yeah, would be cool, man. A little work, a little challenge. But so immediately I was just checking ads, and I think he had his up for an hour.
Yep.
And that was it. I called him right away. I said,
it was crazy.
I think it was like an hour or
really
something,
was.
the same day.
That's how universal beer is, because he called and said, hey, let's get together and have a beer.
Yeah, so we just got together at that point. But I think the Foreigner is great music. There's not a lot. We hadn't seen a lot of Foreigner tribute around.
I never heard of it until you
Yeah,
guys.
and we thought it would be a great challenge.
It's a great challenge.
It's a great challenge, to really dig into the material. So.
Did you guys know each other? Did you know Gary prior to joining this band?
No.
So you guys are all...
No.
This is a pretty big, robust band, and for it to come together so quickly, that's pretty impressive.
We've known Pam, me and Mark,
called
and,
me and said, you want to do this tribute band, call Vongo.
We're putting the band together. You in?
Yeah, we were putting out the word for certain players. We were struggling a little bit with guitar players, someone that really wanted to do the work.
Yeah.
And it's like you were saying, too, that there's tons of tribute bands out there.
Right.
The timing is kind of good for it because some people are not into the tribute thing, but, you can command a little bit more money if you kind of know what you're doing.
Sure.
You can play some bigger rooms, theaters,
Bigger
outdoor
audiences.
festivals, and, which we've done. 3 of us have done that for the last few years, and it works. But no one was really doing a Foreigner thing, and like Vongo said, it's a challenge because there's a lot of parts, and that's why there's a minimum of 6 people in that band even to this day.
There's a lot going on in their arrangements.
Lots
Big Jones is a great
of
writer.
arrangements.
He writes great songs.
And you have to do it or it doesn't come off.
Right.
You just don't sound good. And we got keyboards that she's doing multiple parts.
Multiple.
She had to chart out
She's amazing.
many parts to that.
And then finally we were searching. We got to have that horn, man. We need at least a sax
There's
player.
all kinds
So he
of
plays
great,
horn, he
Lucky
plays
great,
flute.
yeah,
So
great
we
saxophone
got-
solos
we-
all
we-
through there.
We hooked
Yep.
up with Bruce, and
Bruce
that
said
just
yes.
put a frosting on it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you said yes.
Plus
he regretted
plus all
it.
the the great vocal harmonies. For me, that's really what makes it.
Yeah,
Yep.
a lot of vocals.
And
When
it
I
takes
came in
constant work,
to the
constant
group,
work.
Gary, Vongo, and Mark were the core. and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I respect Bongo's playing so much that, and Mark's, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do this.
I think we were drinking when we were talking about it.
And then let me ask you, you still respect their...
yeah.
She respects our playing, maybe not us as much.
Right.
Yes.
Altogether, though, from the time you thought of this till now, how long have you guys been running together now?
Oh boy.
Gosh,
About a year.
almost 2 years.
Yeah, I'd say close to 2 years.
Close to 2 years between
Yep.
Gary, me, and Mark, and Pam's been, at least over a year.
The
I started
pandemic
about,
was a
6
little
months
bit.
ago.
Oh, my God.
That did help in a
Time
way.
flies. You
because,
could be
Because-
7 months
you
at
know, we've
least.
all
yeah.
been playing, like Bongo and I played every blues room in Detroit since the late 80s, and that was playing the blues. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's compared to this, the pandemic kind of lended itself to us being able to bury ourselves in a studio in Rochester Hills where
Yep.
we could get after this thing. We started wearing masks like other folks, and then boy, do we really want to do this, and we got through all that. But because of the intensity of that music, like Lou was stating, we needed that time in the
We
studio.
really
Sure.
did.
What happened though is we're kind of lucky that we have these gigs coming out of this because we're laid out of the
gate.
box.
Right.
Some bands just kept booking and they stayed busy all summer long.
While we were
But
working.
we didn't have an EPK kit yet. We didn't have our video done yet, and you just don't want to get out there unless you kind of got those in line. So we picked up a few gigs.
That process.
I don't know if you knew this, but I got some snippets of what you guys have done on stage. And I think I want to play it for whoever's watching right now.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about it.
We'd like to see it too.
Yeah. Same band.
Let's air that. Now we'll talk about the shows that are coming up. And do you guys record live albums at all? Like, do you guys put your stuff out to give to bars or give to establish here's what we sound like on a CD or a tape or an MP3 or whatever?
We did a
promo
pressed
package.
it down to about 2 minutes in a studio. It's our promo video. So we knocked on what we put on at about 6 tracks.
6 or
and
7 tunes.
compressed it down to about 2 minutes worth of music because
Yep.
most people have the attention span. You don't want to give them 5 or 8 or 10 minutes worth of music. You might think
They
it's
won't
great,
listen
and
to
they're going
it.
to find
Yeah,
13
listen to
it.
Oh man, yeah, okay.
So we worked on that, and that's primarily has been our business card, and it has gotten us some gigs because they look at it, fortunately, and go, it looks like they know what they're doing, and
Let's get them out here.
Oh, and I have to add this guy. he had COVID, and then he recovered, and like
did?
2 weeks later, we were in the studio, and he hits that high sax note,
Oh.
not even winded first time.
Didn't affect you like it affected most. Let's
Well,
just say.
not so much. No, I had COVID light, so lucky for me. Yeah.
Corona Light's disgusting. But so I was under the impression that the 27th we had a big show coming up. But that's not the only thing you guys got going on. What's on the docket for you guys coming up the next few months?
The 27th was kind of a last-minute deal because we knew one is a relatively new, there you go, another Seeger band, but they're called Fire Lake. I'm curious to meet these guys because I guess they came from kind of the best around town. So they're up first, and then us in the middle, and then it's a band called Rocksteady that's a Bad Company band. So they thought, well, why don't we go to the Token? And the Token was all on for it, so we're doing that on the 27th. About an hour apiece for everybody. And then the next day, the 28th, is an outdoor festival in Clio. And then October 15th, we go to Irish Hills to a place called the Blue Sky Breweries.
For our second
And
time.
our second time, and it's a fun place to play. Big room.
It's a winery and
And
a
winery.
craft brewery.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Really cool
And you
place.
can drink too much.
All right, actually, my next question for that, I'm gonna lead in with that. Foreigner's got a lot of awesome songs. To each and every one of you, what is your least favorite one to play while you're covering?
Never had that question before.
well, that's
It's always,
toughy.
which one do you like the
Wow.
And
most?
you're gonna answer with urgent, right? I mean, which one is just like, I don't want to put that on the set list.
That's
We,
easy for
we have to put it on the set list,
That's
though.
really easy for me, but I'll let everybody else.
That's not fair. How about our favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd rather go with the
I'd like
favorite.
to
That's
know
way
that.
too easy.
Yeah,
No,
like
no.
that. It's really not. It's
I
really
like
not
the
easy.
really
question.
not.
I
All
like
right,
that
I'll
question.
give in. What's your favorite? You win.
What's my favorite?
What's your favorite?
My
You're the singer, yeah,
My
what's your-
favorite is I want to know what love is because it's the ultimate question that everybody asks throughout their life. You're in love, you want better love, you got to give love if you want love, and it's the ultimate question, and
That's a great answer.
it's just a
Yeah.
perfect.
I'm a bass player. I just want it loud and hard.
Come on, Bob.
Now, does anyone else in the group have the same answer as Gary?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Yes, bitch slap there.
I like Star Rider the best. I just think it's a great song.
It is a great
It
song.
starts off quiet and it builds and it builds and
Yes,
builds
it
to the
does.
end, and it just like grabs you by the throat and throws you down on the ground. It's a great song.
I'm simpler. I like head
Arrangement
games.
is great. Mick Jones, his arrangements are
that's great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
They really
Kind
are
of,
the
they have a
best.
pattern to them. They start very basic and very simple, and every section is add another layer. Add another layer. Add a little guitar.
And they're
by
just
there.
so tasty,
And it drives
right?
us crazy.
It's not as simple as it sounds. 'Cause
No,
My
it's not at all.
favorite is
the tempo is very important
Right.
because there's no drums going all the way through the song. So, you got 5 other people that have to tap their foot. Because they're all playing,
And y'all better be in tune with one another. Yep.
That's my thing. So I like Head Games, which is a simple song that has great lyrics, and it's just a great song, and it comes out right out of the chute, hitting.
Yes, it does.
Man, what was yours?
Blue Morning, Blue Day. I've studied a lot of different music over the years, jazz and everything else.
She
and
teaches keyboards also.
Oh, okay.
I have never come across a rock song that has a diminished scale in it, and and it has 2 diminished scales in it. So I just found that actually really refreshing, and just tasty with the way it's used.
It's
Yeah,
a good
good
tune.
point.
Definitely good
That's
tune.
really.
I am extremely happy that all of you guys have different answers for this question. I'm glad I listened to you.
I don't
I'm
even
glad
know
we
what
went
their
with this
favorite song
question.
is.
What is Bruce's?
I think Cold as Ice for me. And once again, it's that those vocal parts, especially in the breakdown. Go, go, go.
That's my favorite Foreigner song too.
I really like
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
I think it's a mainstream song, but I
Yeah.
love it too for like the same reasons.
very
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's probably my favorite.
Yep. Mark?
Mine's probably, it didn't get much airplay at all. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I heard it when we started this band. Heart Turns to Stone.
Okay.
That's a good one.
It's a good rocker. I mean,
It's a straight
just
driving song.
Straight. It's something that maybe Deep Purple would have done. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just Yeah,
Very
that
true.
kind of thing.
Think about
Yeah.
these songs. Is every time you hear it, you hear something else. You go, oh,
You
I
do,
didn't hear
yeah.
that in there before. Because it's everything is woven together.
The way
like a big
the way
puzzle.
they're done is just amazing.
And because there's only
keeps you
basically
going.
2 guitar players, Lou being the guitar player and myself being the bass player, and Lou will, after all these months we've been at this, and Lou just did it again last Tuesday night rehearsal. He goes, God damn, he goes, I just heard this again. I'm looking at Lou like,
Here comes something new again.
it changed. No, it was a good thing, but I'm going, oh God, I already struggled enough on this,
So the songs are so layered that you actually have to pick what you think is
Which
the most
ones,
dominant
to
parts
use.
in the
Yeah.
song, because there's only 6 of us. And in the studio, they might have laid down 5, 6 guitar tracks, and you got
Well,
to
they
pick
tour. They tour with 3 guitar players.
They do.
Some
Right.
guitar
Right.
players.
Keyboard players.
Some-
one
Sometimes they
keyboard
do.
player, and then Mick playing keyboards also.
Right.
So
Our attitude has been to try to emulate that band.
Yes.
Lou's doing the guitar work of, like Pam said, 2 other guitar players. They tour with guitar player used to come from Rod Stewart, and then Tom Gimbel plays, sax player. He toured with Aerosmith.
Yep.
We all try to get into those parts, and then poor Pam, because keyboard player.
Pam, you're the guy all the show like
Well,
poor Pam.
sometimes I'm imitating.
Pam's.
I'm imitating the guitar part on the keyboard.
and not only that, I mean, she actually I played with a lot of keyboard players before in my 50 years of playing, but I've never played with somebody that can do 3 parts at one time. It's like she has 3 brains.
How is that?
No, it'll blow your
How are
mind.
you-
How are
It's
you
big
doing
deal.
that?
Females, for some
Amazing.
reason, can do 3 things at the same time. The people that work at my office.
We're lucky
You
to
see
do
them when
one.
they're setting an appointment over here, and they're on the phone with somebody, and they're talking to somebody over here all at the same time. You
Guys are lucky to do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
can't get my shirt buttoned up.
I think the good thing about this music is that if you work hard on it, you can get comfortable, like you're playing foreigner music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once you get to that point, at least I find with myself, if I can get 90% of what those drums are doing, and then I could be myself at the
Yep.
same time.
Sure.
Throw
I can
himself in
play
there, too.
how I play, as long as I know that I got the parts that I think have to be there.
Right.
And that's
And that's
really
the good thing about it.
And that's really the key to any tribute band is you have to actually go out there and be foreigner.
I was going to say that
You have to
earlier.
be foreigner.
That's half of it.
If you want to be accepted as that,
Yeah, I think
you got to do the best job you can possibly do every time,
that's
every
very
minute
true.
you're on
We-
stage.
There are some foreigner bands. There's one out of New York, one out of Chicago. I look at those as our kind of
Yes.
our everyday
Sure.
competition.
Yes.
We want to do this the best we can, and you can't do it by when Vongo says he's got 90% of the drums down, but he doesn't stop at that point.
Yes.
This may sound arrogant. I don't mean it this way. I mean, you don't ever want to, especially at this kind of level, say, "Well, that's good enough. Who's going to know the difference?"
Can't.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
everybody's going to know the difference because they know those songs so well.
There's enough of the song. We didn't know when we started how many of these songs actually made it in to the top 40, and they hung on for years, and you kind of took it for granted. And then when you see some people singing the vocals back to you out in the crowd, you're going, "Oh, well, Gary got all those?" Which
Well,
he does.
I think it's like as someone that would be in a Beatles tribute band. I know you love the Beatles. You could be an amazing musician and hit those notes and like sound exactly like the Beatles on stage, but if you don't look like John Lennon and you don't look like Paul McCartney, no one's gonna take you seriously. And you could be the closest to sounding them like musicians wise, but if you don't look like them, okay, you have to dress the part. That's half of it when you're a
You
tribute
got a
band.
good point, because
and that's hard.
They come to be entertained. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
fortunately, we picked, at least with this kind of music,
Yes.
this is how we dress.
Yes.
And there's no wigs to be put on. There's no,
Thank
Yes.
there's no
Yeah.
spandex to be put
And
on.
we've seen
Exactly.
And it's not like Foreigner, it's not like they have that dynamic appearance
Right.
like the Beatles. It's like half of people that dig Foreigner might not even really know what they all look like.
And
Right.
I was gonna say I like Foreigner.
They've always
Don't know what
had
they
kind
look
of
like.
different people in the last 15 years. They've had different people in the band.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have just one guitar player. Sometimes they have 2. Sometimes they don't tour with Mick Jones because he's getting older now.
Yep.
So,
So
sometimes
really,
he's not even.
so really, what it comes down to for me is you had Lou Graham, which is the original lead vocalist of Foreigner, and now you got Kelly that kind of dresses like I'm dressed right now. He wears the flowered shirts and
A little flashier.
a little
Yeah.
flashy, and so we try to give that feeling, the look, the sound, everything that we need to do to be out there and be this tribute band.
That is pretty awesome. I like that. I love that you guys picked Foreigner. Out of all the bands, Foreigner, that's sweet. And I love that you got this shirt. I want this, by the way.
I want it.
I can have the shirt. I will take the shirt from you. Don't you
That's an
worry.
Elvis jacket. Elvis
I'll
wore
fight
one
you
like
for
that.
it.
That's the king, Daddy.
So the shows that you got coming up, did we touch on the shows you guys got coming up?
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty
Are
much,
you,
yeah.
are you guys going into the studio at all anytime soon? To like record anything that you guys are doing?
No, not at this
No,
point. We
no.
we did go in the studio, and now we're just we're looking at really heavily booking up and
We
playing.
will
some
probably
big
record a lot
venues.
of our shows just for our own use, just to look at it and say, okay,
Sure.
we're doing this wrong, we're doing this wrong, because
Yeah.
it's a constant battle.
It's a
Always
it's a constant
trying to
upgrade.
Yeah, and I think
Every
that
show.
I think right now just getting out there with your phone and taking shots, it's not there yet. I think if once we get into it a little further and we have really good shows, maybe we do good videos.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah,
get a
the
crew
name
out
of-
there
Sure.
doing good video.
Name of the game right now is try to get the schedule moving.
Right.
in
Just
the
get out
right
there,
direction.
get to work.
And everyone's like, it's either you get some of these bars that don't have enough money to pay anybody, and you got people that are like desperate, and you're like trying to find out where to go and get your name back out there. I know it's really
Well,
weird
last
now.
year it killed us because a lot of the parks and higher paying gigs start booking in January. And we didn't
Yeah.
have our package done until, what, late April?
Yeah.
So that
Then
killed
our-
us right
and
there.
then the world shut down, and you couldn't do nothing.
Right.
You know.
And it's
But
a
the
little,
places we have played, like the winery, they want us back 2 and 3 times. They love us. And,
That's awesome.
You know, so.
That's
but
cool.
there's some things, there's some people that I want to contact. We just sort of finished our EPK. I mean, you can't, without a press kit, we've got the video, but the press kit's they all got to have that. And there's some people I'm just itching to pick up the phone, but it doesn't, you can't really make that initial contact with some agencies without all of that for them to push send, and they got it immediately. They
And now we have that.
now we have that. It's just been a process to get it done because it's been a process to get the material together.
Yeah, that was
First.
just done last week. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, material.
Is it hard to get you guys all together for a practice?
Oh, no.
Oh,
good. Good.
We are dedicated.
That's
We
one
are
thing
very
we're pretty
dedicated.
committed to it. We all enjoy it. We're all type of players that enjoy the challenge.
Yeah.
And it's like there hopefully just not going to be any defeat there, or just
No.
keep at it.
I think this was. I think you guys are onto something really fun and exciting, and I think like the part of dressing the part, like to me, I've seen. I used to work in like banquet halls, and they have like their tribute show, and it's supposed to be Rod Stewart or it's supposed to be somebody. And it's like, hey, Rod Stewart. Like, come on. So I mean, it's so to dress the part to me is important. It seems like you guys got it down. I'm excited to see more stuff from you. And would you guys come on my show again someday?
Oh hell yeah.
Would you do this again? Because I don't know if you guys know this. You're the first ones.
Cool.
You probably heard me when I was like, we're back! But, this was kind of cool, and I'm glad we were able to do it. I do have one parting thought for everybody, and Gary said I should ask this question, and I agree. You guys have all been doing your own thing for quite some time. And just one word answer. Who's the coolest person, the coolest artist you've ever shared a stage with, opened for, shared a bill with, whatever? Just go down the line. Who's the coolest person you were associated in a performance with? Gary, we'll start with you.
I sang with Badfinger for about a year. Really didn't go anywhere because the direction wasn't where it should have been. Nobody
was a
really
bad
know where to
finger.
really go. Badfinger from England.
Apple bad, bad thing.
Yes, and
Very
then
bad, very
and then shared the stage with Ginger Baker, Molly Hatchet, bands like that.
Is Ginger Baker really that much of an asshole?
I don't know. He's a great performer.
Oh, he's a
All I know.
phenomenal drummer, but I mean, I heard he's a major mean
yeah.
man.
Yeah, you can read all about that.
Even when his son didn't want to talk to him, that I guess would prove that he was probably an asshole.
Where can your music be found? What kind of music are you guys? Like, are you guys on Spotify, Amazon, Facebook? Where can we find your music?
Right now
We didn't really get.
we didn't.
We
do
had a
any-
couple things, short things.
You
but
can go.
we just took
You,
them down,
you
but-
can go to. You could just type in urgent.
Right.
Detroit history.
It'll come
of
up on
Foreigner,
YouTube.
and it'll pop up on YouTube. Our video.
Facebook too.
Facebook's there, pictures are there. It's not a real URL, but
That's in regards to that though. I feel like you not having a real URL kind of is good because if people do that, most people are going to look at your Facebook anyways. Most people will look at your social media as opposed to a
it's the
website.
easiest thing, I think, for people to navigate and
Yeah,
go through it.
right. If you
It's
get your friends on
instantaneous.
Facebook to see the video, they're like, "Oh, cool."
And then sometimes people have got to be clever with a URL, and people go, "I'm not messing with that."
Like, are you telling me what to do? I'm not doing it. No, I get it.
It's funny.
Yeah, we'll get some stuff up in the future. Some more stuff. A few things
Every job,
I'd like
every
to
gig
be
we have.
selective. Selective about or whatever.
If it wasn't Foreigner, who else would it be? Anybody? Have you guys ever discussed this?
Me and Mark were thinking it's easy top.
Oh, that'd be great.
But the third guy
Yeah,
didn't
that might
want
be
to put
hard
a wig
now.
on and
Well, I mean,
didn't want to get a
your time
beard
is
and
now.
didn't want to get a beard in the hair.
Right. Yeah.
Wait, there's no keyboard player in ZZ
Yeah,
Top.
no,
What's that?
Yeah, the sax player.
They're missing a
We're
guitar
out.
player and a bass player now too. So I mean,
we'll keep you, Pam. You just got to move my gear for me.
you just need to grow a really long beard too.
Right, there you go. Just tie it over in front there.
Well, this was fun, you guys. Thank you so much.
For sure.
you.
Thanks for
I
having
mean,
us.
this is going to be a
Appreciate
thing
it.
every week, just like we used to do from Music Town Detroit. This is my basement. Did you guys like the vibe?
Yeah.
This is shot from my home.
very
So
cool,
screw
right?
Music Town. This is shot from my home. Every single week, if you're locals, I am looking for you. I need you to submit your music to homegrownfrank@gmail.com. We will get you down here. We will support you. We will put all your music on. Special thanks to My First Home, Matt Bush, the realtor. He'll take care of you. If you are looking for a new home and you've never bought a home before, reach out to Matt. In fact, if Matt's watching, I invite you to come to the next week's episode so you kind of see what you got yourself into. And you guys, rock and roll, man. Thank you so much for showing up.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Homegrown Happy Hour. I'm Frank Jr. And until next week, we'll see you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Salute.